Money Radio, discussing the business of making and spending money. Money Radio, discussing the business of making and spending money.
A warm welcome to all of you viewers out there. This is Money Radio. This is the transportation segment of the program. And in the studio is AGK, the transportation aficionado. And I'm your host, Case Hammond. On today's edition, we're discussing the topic passengers pay 100,000 naira as Abuja-Kaduna flights resume after 2 months. Matters arising. AGK, 100,000 naira after 2 months, and it's as a result of a number of issues. That is why, according to the headlines, matters arising. Those are the matters arising. I don't think there is any distance or any route in the country right now that you have to pay 100,000 naira per flight. If there is any, I would be glad if you just tell our viewers.
You see, I've been keeping quiet because I'm not in the mood. It's actually an unfortunate situation caused by our carefree, lackadaisical attitude towards life. So people just wait and capitalize on the opportunity and they exploit people. What cost this thing? Flight to Abuja to Kaduna is it's not up to 20 minutes flight.
Yes.
Now,
I mean, literally, by the
by
time
road
you
is 2
climb
hours.
you get it in the sky, before you begin to
To settle down,
they start announcing landing.
You're already landing.
Yes. So we're
By
talking about
road is 2
100,000.
hours.
Yes, road is 2
By
hours.
train is 2 hours. So what is the problem? What is the problem? It's simply because the terrorists decided to take over Abuja-Kaduna highway, bombed the train, of course, and the airlines saw an opportunity.
To make money,
and
people
they
must
started-
travel.
People must travel. As a matter of fact, anybody going to the north now, Kaduna, Kano, all those things, you go by flight. You won't want to risk it. If you're kidnapped along the road, you pay more than that. You pay millions. That is
Yes.
if you come out alive.
Yes.
So people have to
And that will be
consider
after suffering.
after suffering. We have
A typical
situation
example is after 2 months, our train hostages are still.
are still there.
there.
They don't even know their fate.
Yes.
So now the simple situation is that one, they said after reopens after 2 months. What happened within the 2 months? Terrorists attacked Kaduna airport. They killed one of the security guys there. They attacked the airport. When the thing happened, what Nigerian government tried to do is to douse the tension by saying that it wasn't an attack, it was a kind of penetration, all this long story, and they had to close down the airport, keep the security situation of that airport. Now all the airlines collapsed that they are not going to fly in there except they are assured of security. At the end of the day, you reopen. You know the problem with airports at the northern part of this country. It's being treated like government property. It's our own. You go to Kano Airport. Kano Airport is an international airport. You see a situation where somebody will just come. They will enter anywhere without adequate check. If not, ask me how somebody will just penetrate Kaduna Airport and go and not that the security measures there are not tight. See, we can't do regionalism, religion, and all tribalism with everything. Airplane, airports, business, aviation business is a serious international business. Any mistake you do can affect what will happen to aviation industry in Nigeria.
Yes.
Imagine such person going to the airplane and bombing himself or exploding the IODs or anything inside the airplane. Imagine the disaster.
That will be
The
a
national
disaster.
person foreigners, local people, everybody will be there, and you just kill everybody. It's going to be a world news. So you have to be serious about that. It was a very dangerous thing to have allowed that security lapse for that guy to come in and even try to hijack the airport before they were repaired and they succeeded in killing people. Now, they locked down the airport after 2 months. I'm sure the airport is not even supposed to be open now, but because of pressure from the rich people, the train is not working, the road is not safe. So the best way, what do? We pressurize government to open the airport and assure people that it's secured. So the first thing Asma and all those airlines did is to increase the money because the
Yes,
number of
the
passengers
higher the risk, the more the money.
and the number of passengers that were going, the higher the demand, the higher the increase, the higher the fares. The simple economics, basic economics. Now, when they saw that so many people were ready to travel, they had to increase the money, 100,000. Do you know what they did to the passengers? They took them from Abuja to Lagos and connected them back to Kaduna.
Hmm.
They did not just fly them there. Adma did not fly them. Adma took them from Abuja to Lagos and transloaded them into a plane coming to Kaduna. And you come to Kaduna. I'm sure in doing that, they want to justify that we collected 100,000. Now, it says if you're going to this way, you decide to go like this and come like this again. It's a funny situation, but that's the fact. That's where we find ourselves. Because I'm sure they didn't want a situation where they will just fly and land within 20 minutes. People will
And
start
then people will start asking, "Is
asking,
this
is this
why
why we
we?"
charge us 100,000? So they took them to Lagos and put them in the plane going to Canada. It's a laughing, we are laughing about it, but it's a serious issue. Though very funny, but it's a serious issue. We need to address these things. We need to make sure that airlines, and airlines have been complaining about fuel, aviation fuel,
Yes.
wahala, scarcity, increment. So this is a clean opportunity for them to make more money. Now, before we started, you were asking me, is there any route in Nigeria that is 100,000? I don't think so. I paid 70. I paid 70 Port Harcourt to Abuja. But airpiece is always the highest,
Yes.
very expensive. So there were no flights available at that, and they are not like the flights are not frequent. So anyone you see, you just try and book so that you get to Abuja. I paid 70, and I think people have paid 80, 70. This 100,000. Apart from that time that we had a situation of fuel scarcity, aviation fuel scarcity, the highest they made a benchmark of 50,000. So it's always within 50, 51, 52, 53 on a normal class, economy class. Except you're talking about those big boys that want to sit at the front of the plane. So it's just pure exploitation. And nobody is checking it. Nobody. The aviation minister is not checking it. The federal government, the president, nobody is checking it. It's like I am tired. I can't wait for this election to come and go so that we have a new set of people who think different. We're having this situation, we're having bad insecurity that caused the Abuja-Kaduna to be on standstill. It's still there. We are not talking about that. And now these things are happening. And nobody is talking about economy. We used to have a situation when Goodluck was in power, Goodluck Jonathan. We used to have an economic team. I don't know, have you ever heard of economic team recently?
Of course. I have it. I
You
have
will
it.
not hear about anything. Nobody is even thinking. The vice president that was thinking is pursuing political career to become president. The minister of transport resigned to go and pursue political career. So the rail, everything will stand still as we speak. It's a terrible
So in
situation.
that sense, you can't really blame the airlines for charging 100,000 naira.
They are in business to
They
make
are in
to
business, and
make
of
profit.
course, who knows whether they are even at least using part of that money to appease the potential criminals.
You never can tell.
You can never
Anything can
tell.
happen. But I'm sure it's an opportunity for them to make money since they already have challenges with accessing aviation fuel. When they see that opportunity, they grab it. drive it. Seriously. I only wish that we get better. Wish we start thinking about Nigeria. I wish we have up and doing ministers and all this.
It's quite a pity. That means the ultimate victim here, or the ultimate victims,
And the masses.
the masses.
Because we must plan.
Because look at this thing. These guys are really holding the public to ransom. You may not be in their custody before you consider yourself being held to ransom. You are actually being held to ransom because think about people who have to travel between Abuja and Kaduna and then Kano,
Zamfara,
Zamfara.
Sokoto, all this route.
That is the route you must pass.
You must pass.
Those people have effectively blocked that route.
Yes. In fact, you can't even travel along Abuja-Kaduna now without thinking twice. If you go and you come, you're lucky. It doesn't mean that you're holy. It's just that luck decided to shine on you because so many people have been going and being kidnapped on a daily basis. The recent one was kidnapping and even burning a vehicle within, I think, on Monday or thereabouts. Can you imagine?
Then apart from that, the train service that people were looking at as the safe means of travel has actually been grounded. Finally, we're having the situation with the airport and the airlines are making a kill. I can understand why you are getting BP because of this issue. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we will discuss the way forward, if there is any. Stay tuned.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Money Radio, discussing the business of making and spending money.
Welcome back, viewers. You're still on to Money Radio, and this is the transportation segment of the program. And we are discussing matters arising as airlines are actually charging 100,000 naira between Abuja and Kano, Kaduna, as a result of the roads being blocked by bandits and terrorists, or you can call them kidnappers. The train track or the rail service being suspended, and now the risk involved in transporting people by air between Abuja and Kaduna. All of this has economic consequences. There's no doubt about that, because when you have people curtailing free movement of goods and passengers, that is a serious predicament, because as a matter of fact, to get goods and services, you need roads, transportation. That means for those who are willing to take the risk, they have to charge much. That is, I'm talking about road transporters.
Everywhere, everywhere. You see, what you just said now is a clear picture of what will happen. Anything coming from Kaduna as is, Kaduna and the neighboring states coming into Abuja will be charged more because the risk of bringing them, we're talking about goods now,
Yes,
bringing them by the road is a big problem. The risk, the driver is risking being kidnapped,
of course.
he's running on the road fuel is not there, you queue up for 5 6 hours to get fuel. In some of the houses, you get fuel as much as 200 something naira per liter. Then you get to Abuja, you would never sell it price you're supposed to sell it because you have to put all this risk and assessment
Inside.
inside the
And that
goods.
is why we are talking about inflation. As if the government does not know why this inflation
The
is being.
government is not being sincere about this fight. You see, this whole suspension of railway, now Kaduna attack, the airport, and plane increase the money is connected to one thing: insecurity. If you solve the problem of insecurity on this axis, automatically everything will fall in place. Because look at it, when you remove the bandits and the kidnappers from the road, eliminate, deal with them, you can do that.
It can be done.
The Kaduna to here is 2 hours, but it's not a far distance. You can comb the whole of the forest, remove them from the road. The vehicles will come back to the road. They apply the road. Normally, I think Abuja to Kaduna used to be around 2015
Yes.
by road.
Yes.
The train will come back, which is around 1000 something, 2002, 3000, I don't know. Except you're going for VVVIP, all those 5000.
Yes.
The plane will be forced, when they don't see the rush, they'll be forced to
To
bring
bring
it
down
down,
their prices.
even below 50,000,
Yes.
because it's not a far distance. So, but when you have all these things is linked to insecurity, and we need to address it. Now, they wanted to start the rail services. People started protesting this, that, for the fact that some people are still being held. What are you doing to solve that problem? What effort are you making to get these guys released? The people who are at the camp of the terrorists. We have 62 of them. What are you doing? What have you done? What do you plan to do? You're not doing anything. The police keep saying they're coordinating with the Minister of Information, Minister of Transport, and the NRC. The army, which is leading the rescue mission, is also telling us that they are doing it. Nothing has been done. These guys want something. Release our family members, will release them. If you know you cannot, I said it in the last room. If you cannot get them, if you cannot tackle them, if you cannot fight them, negotiate, release. That is why you see when they kidnap a big man, a rich man, he will pay ransom and come out
You
alive.
come out of it.
He wants to come out alive. Assuming these guys, these 62 passengers, have been negotiated based on ransom, some of their families would have paid the money.
Yes.
But the guy that kidnapped them are not interested. They've collected the money they used to feed them from the MD of Bank of Agriculture and Co. They made sure they collected the money, about 100 million. That was the alleged money paid for the ransom. They used it to feed these people and keep them for this long. And their target is that you must get these guys out. And I challenge you, I'm going to say this, and I hope that we will not get to that. It will get to a point where they will not only request for the release of their people, they will request for money because they are using money to feed these people. We'll get to a point where
Of
they
course,
will
to
say
treat
you
them,
must
they, they,
bring
they,
money.
they, they are in the bush, so they
Of
must be.
course,
They,
you
must,
must
they will
bring
get
money
angry. I
in
mean, they
addition
will
to
get sick.
releasing our people
Yes.
because you're wasting time. And you know you're not doing anything to attack them. You're not trying to overpower them. You're just looking at them and you're not doing anything. Now we are in this mess. So the way forward is simple. Tackle the insecurity, which is not visible now. I'm not even hoping that they are planning, because I know they are not planning to tackle any insecurity. We are going to have this situation till after the election. We are going to come out of this situation if God helps us with a good leader who is going to be willing to tackle the insecurity. We had a situation before in this country where one part was so Medugri and Co was so terrible that you can't go there. Now we are going there. They decided that okay, since it's only let us spread. They spread to they get to Kaduna, close to Abuja. Now in Suleja, Kaduna Road, Chikakwere, Gudu, all these villages around the town, Kubwa, kidnapping is happening every day. Bandits are entering, kidnappers enter, carry somebody and go. So it's a terrible situation. And until you tackle it, if you tackle insecurity, a lot of things will start aligning. and we can only hope that government comes out to tackle it. Then the issue of aviation fuel, I don't think is an issue. It's not an issue. This 100,000 has nothing to do with that. They always saw an opportunity that so many people are demanding for this. Let us do this. By the time we do this, they will come up. And they decided to increase the thing. And people will pay. If you make it 150, people will still pay. The people going on train and on plane are rich people. That's a big deal for them. Oh,
That is sad.
that is a bad situation.
And just the other day, when those people released video of some of the hostages, it was so pathetic because these people are pleading they are pleading for their lives. Just that just intervention just to save their lives. If you can't really do anything by means of military confrontation, let's do something to negotiate.
Negotiate, pay the ransom. Look at the pilot that was just abducted.
Yes, and that all of that is actually emboldening people in other parts of the country.
Yes.
Because when you can't take care of this situation, people all in other parts of the country feel emboldened and they want to.
What is it? The church, the Methodist Church decided that we can't risk
The death,
waiting on government
Yes.
to rescue this.
and so they had to
And
pay
they paid ransom. 100.
100 million.
And you see the indictment, indicting security agents for this 100 million. Do you know what you've done? You've empowered
Yes,
those guys.
they've empowered them.
Now they can buy more weapons
Yes,
to kidnap more people
to kidnap more people.
and make more money. It's a terrible situation.
Such a sad thing. Let's draw the curtain onto this money review. It's actually on a sad note that we are drawing the curtain today, and Nigerians are not finding it funny. As people's purchasing power is reducing because of inflation, you're still having to pay more because of inaction of the authorities. It's sad. I want to say thank you, AGK, for being here today again to talk about the issues that are pinching Nigerians. I want to say thank you also to our producers, but we'll say thank you most to all of you who follow us loyally on this program. We'll be back on Monday with a fresh edition. That will be the national economy segment of Money Radio. We invite you to join with us by 2 o'clock on that day. Until we meet, I've been your host, Case Hammond, and from the studio of Leadership Podcast, the Last Word Studio, we are saying have a great weekend. God bless you.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.